here's my review of The Last Rodeo. Now, this is a movie, it normally wouldn't really be one that I would check out, but I did end up seeing this movie last night, and honestly, I thought that this was a very good movie, where it's quite straightforward and simplistic, and it's the kind of like one of those movies, like those feel-good movies, in terms of like where you have this sad situation where this guy named Joe finds out his grandson has a brain tumor and that he needs money for surgery and competes in this rodeo bull riding competition for the money. That's basically it. Very early on, we find out that his grandson needs this surgery, and then we find out that he has this really like bad tumor in his brain, and he needs the money to get it removed. And it was just a very good movie. Like, it's not going to be on like top 10 of the year or anything, but it was a very cute and fun movie. And a lot of it is just like that kind of, like I said, it's in a way generic and predictable, but in a way where it's well done. Like, you know what's going to happen. It's very kind of cheesy, but in a good way. Like, it's very got that kind of like feel good tone to it, because I mean, dealing with some heavy stuff, but it kind of is all done in like a light way, but a way to still make you see it like it is dire, like these consequences, especially when we know there's a certain point where he does go in for the surgery, and it's just, intense. Also, I just loved seeing Christopher McDonald in this movie. I just think of him as Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore, and I'm excited to see him again in Happy Gilmore too. And he was great here. He is one of Joe's friends, and he basically helps him enter this rodeo competition so he can win the money in the first place. And there is this tension between our characters where Joe and his daughter Sally have this constant tension with each other, because in the beginning of the movie we see how Joe got seriously hurt bull riding, and Sally does not want him to do it again. And so there's that like internal familiar drama and tension within this movie that makes it really good. But one thing I just really liked about this movie was honestly just the way it looks. Like, the actual bull riding itself is just really intense. From the cinematography standpoint, it always looks so clear, and just you're on the edge of your seat. And I just love how bright it gets. Like I said, visually, I think this movie was just great. And just the bull riding was just so intense and so much fun to watch. And it is kind of like scary, because I think like you see things like this and you're like, the fact that people actually do this, I'm like, I don't get why you would do it. Just do a mechanical bull. But I love how intense it feels. I think that the cinematography is just great in this movie, at least for what it is, at least at times. Like, these parts are really great to look at, but then for the majority of the movie, it just looks like an average movie. But these scenes I really liked. And especially like see scenes from under where you see like the bull basically kicking the screen almost. And it's just like intense, because you know how much like these animals could just kill you with ease. And like that's another stake to this movie. Like, you have the stake of his grandson as well as himself. And a lot of it, what makes this movie work is just the dynamic between, especially like Joe and his friend Charlie. These are just fun characters to be around. These are just great characters that are just enjoyable and charismatic, played by great actors. Although I'm not really super familiar with them, they do good, at least in this movie. This is really the only thing I've seen them in. But, so even the side characters here, they're just kind of fascinating. They're just interesting. And I liked it. With a movie like this, where it is, in a way, so straightforward, because I believe it's a little under 2 hours, I believe, and a lot of this movie is just Joe, like, he's kind of training for bull ride over the course. He's getting hurt until the big competition. And there's just like a lot of, like, there's those constant like threat, because every once in a while when we go back to his grandson, we just know like how dire it is, especially when he goes into surgery. It's just like that kind of ticking clock feel, where we know like, yeah, this is serious. But as well, it's a very entertaining movie because of how intense the bull riding in it is, because of, like I said, the cinematography from the bull riding just puts you in, like, especially like when you see, like, from a character's point of view, like, basically you're only seeing their hand holding it, and then you're just seeing the bull just like thrash around. It's just so much intensity there that I just thought was just great. So yeah, a movie like this, it is very simplistic. It is very what you'd expect. Like if you watch the trailer, there's really nothing more than what you see. I wouldn't really say that there's anything like absolutely spectacular about this movie, but it's just a fun movie. It's got a lot of heart to it. It's got a lot of intensity with the bull riding, and the characters are fun. There's not really that much to talk about because of the straightforwardness of it, but for what it is, I found this to be a entertaining time. And yeah, I thought it was pretty good.